Hello everyone. So I wanted to talk about SNL's tone-deaf response to the Try Guys. So they did a skit um, in the last episode um, where they completely missed the point of the Try Guys controversy. So the skit started off fine. It was they had a correspondent who was um, talking about a message going to come out of the White House by the president, and then he interrupts and says, "Oh, we're going to interrupt this message from the president by with a message from the Try Guys." Okay, that was funny. That was kind of poking fun at how big this whole thing had gotten and that kind of thing. Um, I think that for the people involved, that could be very hurtful and insensitive. But I get that much of the joke. After that, it completely went off the rails. Um, so let's talk about Ned Fulmer's connection to SNL. Ned, in true typical silver spoon-fed asshole fashion, went to Yale, graduated from Yale, and one of his friends is a writer for SNL. And it just so happens that this situation, SNL, came out and did a skit basically defending Ned and his cheating. Big surprise. Now, I don't know for certain, I don't have any evidence, but I would strongly suspect that Ned's buddy did him a solid and wrote this skit as a means of misinforming the public. I mean, I don't know what demographic SNL has at this point. I personally haven't watched it since the 90s, and it hasn't been funny in a long, long time. But I don't know how much overlap there is between viewers of SNL and people who are aware of the Try Guys. But the problem is that this is clear misinformation. Given Ned's connection to SNL, it's highly suspect, and it suggests that they're trying to propagandize people into thinking that cheating on your spouse of many years, with whom you have 2 kids, with one of your employees is somehow okay. And their justification for this is that Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce. Which one of the people in the skit says that at some point, and it's just like, what? What the hell does that have to do with anything? The skit, most of it was so poorly written, it was like the verbal equivalent of alphabet soup. It made very little sense. But they didn't even, none of it was accurate. The Try Guys, they tried to make the Try Guys sound like they did it because Ned didn't tell them that he was cheating. It's like, no, they fired Ned because he cheated on his wife, with whom they are friends, with one of his employees. That's a major ethics violation for a company, for a boss, because of undue influence and the possibility of that, and favoritism, and the power dynamics involved. I mean, it's all pretty clear, and I mentioned it in my last video. You don't have to be a human resources genius to figure this stuff out, But not only was their skit tone deaf, but it wasn't funny. It started off fine, but it was just like, it just completely went off the rails. And the the really disgusting thing was that not only did they take Ned's perspective as being the right one, as if, you know, cheating on your wife with whom you have 2 kids is just A-okay, but they put Ned's words into the mouth of a woman. So you have a skit likely written by a man being in support of a man who cheated on his wife with an employee, and those men then putting the words, Ned's words, supportive words of Ned at the very least, into the mouth of a woman. Yep, that's pretty gross. I can't say as I'm totally surprised, you know. Frat boy douchebags will do that, you know. And if you watch earlier footage of Ned Fulmer, you'll see that he is a frat boy douchebag. And his wife, or possibly ex-wife now, Ariel seems really nice, and I kind of wonder what she saw in him. Maybe it was the money, I don't know. I mean, I can't possibly know, and I shouldn't say that. But, yeah, it's just, they have, it's like they went out of their way to miss the point. You know, I mean, they made it sound like Ned's line of consensual work relationship was just fine. You know, oh, well, it was consensual. Well, that's not the issue. One, we don't know if it's consensual because he was her boss, and that could have played a part in her willingness to engage in the relationship, or her ability to say no. You know, and since when do we take the word of a fucking lying, cheating asshole anyway? I mean, who would take this asshole's word for that? Well, another lying, cheating asshole. That's who. You know. I said in my last video that Ned, the people defending Ned are, you know, the ones oozing out of the woodwork are just the dregs of society, and SNL proves that. You know. And, you know, Ned's wife didn't fucking consent to his consensual quote-unquote work relationship. What consent did she have or give? Right? And I'm not saying that either of them have STDs, but look, if you're with if you're with someone, a significant other, and you sleep around, even if it's just with one other person, there's a possibility that you could give your partner an STD. Again, I'm not saying Ned or Ariel or Alex have an STD or STDs. It's just that's a possibility. And then where's Ariel's consent in that? You know? Ariel didn't consent to this fucking workplace relationship. We don't even know if fucking Alex consented. So, it's just, this whole thing is just so fucking gross. And the problem, you know, this whole situation is like a microcosm of what's wrong with society. You know, yes, most people seem to be supporting the Try Guys and Ariel and you know, but you have the mainstream media mouthpiece that is SNL, because SNL stopped being subversive a long time ago. You have their consenting, basically, and trying to propagandize people into believing that cheating is okay, having relationships with your employees is somehow okay, despite the power dynamic problems, that, you know, on and on and on. It's all of the problems of society are often contained within situations like this. You know, um, how husbands will use wives, how men will use women, um, uh, the power differentials between um, men and women, cis men and cis women, and that's not, of course, that's not even to mention non-binary people, that kind of thing. So yeah, this SNL is gross, and it has been for a long time. It hasn't been funny in a long time, a long time, and it should have ended decades ago, just like The Simpsons. You know, I don't know what keeps this crap going. Maybe Lorne Michaels has naked photos of somebody, or you know some kind of information, something he's holding over somebody. But I've heard stories about SNL and the problems that they have behind the scenes with, that kind of thing. It's just their skit was sexist, and anyone who's coming out, crawling out of the woodwork to defend Ned Fulmer, most of their commentary is sexist. So at least these assholes are consistent in that much. Anyway, yeah, I have no need or desire to tune into SNL anymore. Like I said, it's long since outlived its relevancy to culture, and especially to pop culture. So yeah, just one more reason for me not to bother to watch those assholes. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, and bye bye.